Love
All
it.
right. Thank you.
All right, let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Susan couldn't make it this morning, so Chitra and Ali and I will be hosting, and we want to welcome all of you to the International Think Tank, the combination of Big and Costa Women. It's a way for us to reach across the globe and to meet other women entrepreneurs in other parts of the world and make connections and build each other up. And we have the most amazing speakers. And I am so looking forward to Ali's presentation today on planning. Planning is one of my favorite things to do. Implementing, different story planning. Ooh, it's all fun. It's all shiny. I'll let you know what to expect. Ali's going to do the inspirational quote. Then we are going to do introductions. We have a question for you, and so we can get started talking about goal setting. Chitra is going to introduce Ali, and then we are going to get the presentation by Ali for how we're planning out our next 90 days. And we, at the end, will have a way to contact her. And I would encourage all of you to use the chat to make connections with each other. And as a great reminder, we were just talking before you came on. Oh, no worries, Sandy. I went to one of the big meetings last week or a week before, and I met Theda Blackwood. We'd never met before. We decided in the chat to have a connection call, just get together for a virtual coffee. We hit it off. We ended up doing an Instagram live together and reaching all of our audiences to talk about sales. And we really now have made a great connection with each other. So it really is, I'm a business coach, and I think that is something that we really can take advantage of. This is a great opportunity to connect with each other after the call and make and just see where it goes. Be open to seeing where it goes. All right, Ali, I'm going to get you to do the inspirational quote to start us off.
Okay, well, it was really hard for me to choose an inspirational quote because there's so many fantastic quotes out there, but I chose one from Seneca, and I'm sure he can cope with the fact that I've changed it slightly. Let us balance life's account every day. She who daily puts the finishing touches to her life is never in want of time.
That's so beautiful.
And I just put it in the
And
chat for anyone that wants to read it.
We can all relate to wanting to just have that feeling of a lot of time. And, I like to think of it as an abundance of time. All right. Thank you, Ali. And Chitra, do you want to, am I doing the introductions? No, you are.
Yeah, no, I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Chitra will guide us through the introductions.
Thank you. Yes, welcome everybody. And Linda, I love what you said about making the connection, because a connection like that was made how many years ago between Tara and Ali? What was it? 5 years ago. Yeah. And this is what led to our monthly opportunity to connect with women in Spain and UK, and just see how we are all similar in so many ways. So I'm glad that you guys connected and we get to reap the benefits of that. So not only do your connections help you and your business, but they help other people as well. So I'm sure when Linda and Theda came together, it brought a new insight for the people who were watching the live. So yeah, definitely encourage you guys to make connections. So we are a small group today, which I actually love sometimes because it's like intimate and we can get so much more out of the wisdom that the speaker has to share. So I'm going to go around the room and let you guys introduce yourselves. We're going to try to challenge ourselves to keep it really short. And so you're going to tell us your name, where you're calling from, and what is your business. Try to keep it in 30 seconds because we want to all get better at making that 30-second pitch. And then the question that we want you to answer is, do you have a specific goal to achieve by the end of 2023? And if you answer yes to that question, you can feel free to type in that goal in the chat, along with one way that people can connect with you. So we'll start with Rachel, because you're first on my screen, Rachel. So tell us, I'll type in the prompt, but tell us your name, your business, and where you're calling from. And then do you have a specific goal?
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Rachel Rima of Rachel Rima Living. I'm a holistic life coach, ICF certified empowerment mentor. I work with women to help reignite their inner fire, to remove the saboteurs that lead them to their goals and managing of their time and everything in between there. I'm doing women's retreats, one-to-ones, and also workshops and meditations. So I'm here in Summit, New Jersey, in the States. I'm sorry, I'm in my gym wear again. It just always seems to need to time it. Like right here, I'm like, whatever, it's all right. And my goal for the question was, what is the
Do you have a goal? Do you have a goal? Yes or no? And then type it in the chat if it's yes.
Okay, type it or say it.
So tell us whether you have a goal or not. And then if you have one, you can type it in the chat.
I do have a goal. I'll put it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And never apologize for gym wear. It just shows that you worked out. Okay. Sandy, you are next on my screen, and then I'm going to mute you until it's your turn because there's some background noise. Go ahead, Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy. I'm in near Ali. I have moved recently. If anyone's on my Facebook, you'll see my new house, which is awesome, and I'm so happy about it. Ali helped me manifest that with her programs that she does, so she's my guru. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I teach clinical hypnotherapy here in Spain, Andalusia, and Gibraltar. I do have a goal, and I'll put it in the challenge because I know we're short on time.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, I love it. Everyone's going so fast. Beautiful. Kathy, you're up next. And then Bina.
Hi, I'm Kathy Hayes from KMH Bookkeeping. I'm a virtual bookkeeper. I'm in North Carolina right now.
North Carolina, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome. And do you have a goal for 2023?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to say it or put it in the chat?
Put it in the chat. Let's write it down. There's a lot of power to putting it down. All right, Bina, you're up next. Welcome from my neighborhood.
If you can read my shirt, empowerment.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
My favorite word.
So yeah, my goal, I'll put my goals in the chat. I'm from Livingston Pod and I'm working today, but I made sure that I'm able to attend this. And I, use my leverage to put that in my, when I committed.
Beautiful.
And because I wanted to be here. And that's kind of like my goal is to like seek things for myself too, while I'm helping other women find confidence with their hair. Sometimes, people don't realize it, and I didn't realize it myself, like how important this hair could be when you start to see that you're losing it, right? Wow. And I'm finding more and more, and I want to, help other women with my hair care, skincare, wellness. And I didn't think it was important, but now I do. So
yeah. Awesome.
I'll put my goals in the chat.
Yes, definitely type it in the chat. Thank you for coming and making time for yourself to be replenished. And I think you're right. Everything is important once we realize we're going to lose it, right? Everything and everyone. All right. Anela, you are up next, and then we have Brooke.
Hi, I'm Anela, and I'm calling or joining you from Migras in Spain. And I am a therapist for healing and anxiety, stress, and depression. So, and right at the moment, I'm taking a course as a clinical hypnotherapist with Sandy. So,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome. We're so excited to have you. And do you have a goal for 2023?
My goal is to have my business out more coming so more people can see what I'm doing. And one of my other goals is to educate young people about how to cope and handle anxiety, stress, and depression.
Such a beautiful goal. Please feel free to put it in the chat along with a way that we can connect with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brooke, you're up next. Hey, I saw you move around, I think because you turned off your video. So
Yeah, sorry, I was eating.
okay. That's okay.
I work too, so I had to eat after.
Let's do it.
So I'm Brooke Branch. I am the assistant leader of the Livingston, New Jersey Big Pod with Chitra and Roma, who's not here. And I'm I've been in between jobs, you could say, for a couple years. And so now I'm reemerging in a different way as a relationship and open relationship mentor and coach, and to help people navigate non-monogamy. What does that look like? How is it for me? What are the prerequisites in my relationship in order to be able to handle something like that? Things like that. So I'm just kind of putting all the pieces together and figuring that out. And I'm actually going to be talking at our New Jersey pod in person at our Livingston pod next month. So I kind of have to figure it out by then. So I thought, why not come and figure out my 90-day goal, since I have none right now. So that's where I am.
Awesome. Awesome. So feel free to put in the chat a way to connect with you and write down your goal in there as well. All right. Next up, we have L. Ackerman. Can you tell us your name?
Hi, sorry I joined late. My name's Laura Ackerman. I have to change that. I joined late, so I missed what we're sharing.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You're just in time, Laura. So we're talking about tell us your name, your business, and where you're joining us from. And then, do you have a goal for 2023? If it's yes, you can type it in the chat. We're not going to go over it now, but we'll type it in the chat.
Okay. I am a corporate banker at Bank United with the Montville pod. I live in Jersey City. And yeah, I think just some business goals, I guess, for the year to finish strong.
Okay, excellent. Welcome. Are you a new member? I feel like I haven't seen you much.
Yeah, I joined last week, maybe.
Oh, welcome,
So,
welcome.
brand new.
All right, we're excited
But
to
I
have
like it
you.
so far. It's been great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and this is our once a month international meeting. So you're getting right into the big global essence. Welcome. All right, so next up we will go with Linda, and then I will introduce Ali, and Ali will take it off.
Welcome, Laura. I'm happy to meet you. I'm Linda Drisdowich. I'm a coach for women entrepreneurs, and I help them with their goals, setting their vision, defining their mindset that will help them achieve those goals, and really keeping them accountable to taking action towards getting what they want. And I am also a co-leader with Chitra with the big virtual global group, which I really enjoy running as well. So I'm excited for this. Chitra, you're going to introduce yourself, and then you're going to introduce Ali. Is that how we're?
Yeah, I think that might be a better way to do it. So yeah, that's what I'll do. All right. So hi, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I am Chitra Roshlani. I'm a speaker, a coach, and a brand new author of a book called The Warrior Mindset. I believe that we all have an inner evil witch and an inner warrior, and the evil witch is always chattering and telling us how we're not good enough. But the warrior is whispering that, let's try it again, let's do one more thing. And so in my book, I break down the 7 mindset shifts that we all need to make to elevate our energy so that we can attract the people and experiences that we need and deserve. So that's me. I am also the co-leader of this wonderful global pod with Linda and Susan, who couldn't be here today. And then I also help lead the Livingston pod, which is local to me. I'm in Livingston, New Jersey. I do have a goal for 2023. I think I have too many. Maybe I need to pick one and just get working on it. So I have had the pleasure of listening to Ali before, and her presentations are amazing. So I want to get right to it. I'm going to introduce her quickly, and Ali, you can add to anything that I missed. Working as a certified Avenue Growth coach, Ali supports primarily women in business to help them understand plan and activate growth in their business. Spain is where Ali has now settled after traveling the globe since the 1990s and working in Australia, the Middle East, and Asia. Join us as she helps us discover where we are now, what are we wishing for, and how we will break that down into a plan for the next 90 days. Ali, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Chistra. Do you have a plan for your 2020, rest of your 2023? You do. You say you've got quite a few, did you?
Yeah, I have more than one. But I'm a manifesting generator by human design, so I do always have too many things going on.
So hopefully this works. Yes, cool. So hopefully you can see that, ladies. Welcome.
Yeah.
It's really nice to meet you all this afternoon. First of all, thank you for showing up. I do believe that the right people are here, so I'm really pleased to see you. And I'm delighted you've decided to take time out of, I'm sure, your busy day to plan where you're heading. So many of us, like me, are caught up in the day-to-day, which can take us off our path and our plan of where we want to go. And you've gifted yourself this time to learn some new ideas. So I hope you find this session interesting and useful. So as Chitra said, yes, you probably know me as founder of Cost to Women. I've got 35 plus years business experience. I've lived in various countries. I started my career as a law firm, in a law firm. And in those days, you weren't allowed to advertise. So those were really interesting days where it was all recommendation. And I learned a lot about getting recommendations from people. I then became an export manager. I managed to travel the world and became then a company director, meaning that I needed to move out to the Middle East and then Asia. And now I'm very much an entrepreneur. And I think I've learned along the way all sorts of different skills and experienced different lives, if you will, which have led me to what I'm doing today. And I need to be really clear on the vision of what I want to create. And we're going to talk about living and creating yours today. Whatever you've been through in life has led you to this point, this business, and this time in your life. And I think this is the perfect time for you to be living this particular dream. So I put this in here for a bit of a joke, but I think we can all recognize the things in this image, and I hope you can see it clearly. It's two characters. One of them is getting on with their life and planting seeds and doing stuff, and the other one is saying, I've got to build a fence first, and then I need a sprinkler system, and oh, I've got to find out what the secret is, and I think we all get caught up in the we should be doing stuff, but we don't actually get on and do what we need to do to make our business successful. So my talk is very much about 90-day planning, and I'm going to share some hacks and rituals that I use, which I hope you'll find useful. And we asked in the chat if you, when you had kicked off this year, whether you'd got a comprehensive list of projects that you wanted to accomplish. I believe that having a 90-day goal setting holds the key. Rather than having a year-long goals, I think 90 days provides the perfect balance because it gives us ample time to gauge the effectiveness of what we want to do. And yet it prevents us from losing sight of where we want to be. So I'd much prefer 90-day goal setting because it's long enough to see if something works and short enough not to get disillusioned that you can't get it done or that you've wasted the whole year on something and it hasn't taken you to where you want to be. I think it's like having just the right side steps to climb your success mountain and know that you're actually on the right mountain, because sometimes we end up on completely the wrong mountain. Does one of these resonate with you? So no judgment here, because we've all been there and we've all slipped into these habits. So quite often the reason why we maybe fail in what we're doing is we do the wrong things and we waste time. And many of us can spend 80% of our time doing the projects that aren't actually that important, but because we believe them to be urgent. And then we've got 20% of the time left to work on what is actually important for us. Whereas if we flipped it and spent 80% of our time on what's important, we could actually achieve our goals. And if we spend our time moving towards our goals, the projects that we work on can make more impact on where we want to be and how we can find ourselves moving forward. Often we find ourselves scrolling on social media. We have the open tab syndrome where we've got 57 tabs open and we're not actually achieving anything. So maybe you do the right things in the wrong way. That could be another reason why you're not seeing the success you actually want. Maybe you're working on you've got the right things in your head, but you've actually got too many goals. As Shitra said, maybe she's got too many goals. So she's got this free-flowing thinking between projects. She's probably feeling quite overwhelmed and stressed because she's switching between too many projects. And when she can't make any more progress on one project, she switches to another project. And that then can cause poor performance and you've got less priorities to work on. And I think that procrastination can actually look like you're being too busy, because we come up with procrastination and it's an excuse to why we don't work on what needs to be done. We procrastinate and we fail to work on what actually we could be doing for our business. So the other thing that we could do is we could repeat the first two. So we don't actually learn from the experience. We don't realize what worked and what didn't work. Maybe you don't ever check your social media analytics. I know analytics is there's probably only Laura in the room that likes the word analytics. I think the rest of us probably hate it as females. And we don't know whether what we posted on the internet was of interest. Or if we post into groups, we sometimes never go back into those groups to see if anybody commented on what we posted, if we got a response. Or we don't use the time to experiment. And I very much believe we should be experimenting, but we find that we're too busy doing that 80% of the stuff that we think is important. Maybe what we're doing isn't actually linked to planning or future-proofing where we want to be. I'm very much learning about being my future self now, but that's a whole other topic, so I won't delve into that now. There's that famous saying about we overestimate what we can achieve in a year and underestimate what we can achieve in 10. And you could say the same actually for 1 month, 90 days, or even the year. So I want you to think about just having one goal for this coming quarter. What do you actually want to achieve? Where are you trying to get? And are your goals actionable? And I'm going to briefly cover the action goals a little bit later, but goals need to be within your control. So a couple of ladies posted on here that they're looking for more followers, or one of the ladies wants more five-star ratings. Those aren't actually goals because you can't control those. They're reliant on somebody else. If you can't tick them off because you can action them, they're not actually a goal. A goal can't be a list of somebody getting so many followers because it's not a target that you can actually have a control over. What you can have is you can have a goal which is an action step, which is to share, say, unique pieces of content over the next 30 days with the idea to attract your client and get those reviews. But a goal isn't something that you can't control the future of, as it were. And if I change my goals all the time and don't know where I'm going, I don't end up where I want to be. And that's the same for your business. You really do need to have a crystal clear vision and crystal clear goals to reach different stages in your business life. And if you aren't crystal clear, then you can't really grow your business. And once you've got that vision, then you'll be able to do things that fit with that vision. So, for instance, here I'm thinking about bright, shiny objects that we get sucked into, some new course that we see and we think, well, this should be something I should be doing. But is it important for your business? All the roads you work on should lead to where your business is heading. So as the CEO, rather than the CEO of our business, we need to have a crystal clear vision of where we're going long term and how we're going to get there. And we can then adapt and change those if we've got those 90-day shorter goals and align the challenges and changes to where we're heading. And we can feel more confident with that knowledge, and our time and plans, they become less untidy and easier to track and maintain as we move forward. We know that what we focus on grows. So if you focus on not having enough time and working on the wrong things, that's what will grow, and that will take over your business and where you want to head. So I've got a very brief 2-minute exercise, and it'd be good for you to put this into the chat, what you're thinking about. And I actually run a masterclass when I'll be doing the next one in November the 22nd, where I get you to do a complete brain dump of everything that you're working on. I presume you all know what a brain dump is. You just get a piece of paper and you write a list of all of your projects and activities and everything that you're working on. So today we haven't got time to do that, but what I want you to think about is, for the ladies that are in Europe, what did you do today? And for the ladies that are in America, what have you done yesterday? What did you spend your time on? And why did you spend your time on those projects? So bearing in mind that how you spend your time matters, because it reflects from your goals and it reflects the outcomes that you're seeking. What have you done in the last 24 hours, and why did you do that? Why did you do everything that you did yesterday or today? And what outcomes were you seeking? Are those outcomes what you really want? And how do you feel about what you've done today or yesterday? And if you've got any aha moments or thoughts, just stick them in the chat. Is your daily behavior a reflection of the goals that were imposed upon you? So are you doing things because you think you should be doing them? Only you will be able to control your time, and you are the only person that can truly determine what you spend your time on. And your goals need to be consciously chosen so that you want to do them. And then when you decide what you want to do, then you can fiercely pursue whatever it is that you're heading for. So what is the why for whatever it is that you're doing? And I love the word why, because we all know children that drive us nuts asking why something happens. And I want you to really think about this before you do anything else. So why are you doing this? What is your why? Not the how or the who, but the why. Does it really fit with where you want to be heading? Ask yourself why continuously until you get to the answer, because it may be quite deep down why you're doing what you're doing. And are the projects that you are doing, are they aligned with who you want to be and where you want to take yourself and your business? Who do you want her to be in the future? If you removed any of the work that you did today, or you've done already today, or you did yesterday, would that give you more space and energy to work on what you actually want to work on instead? Maybe that would free up some time. This is another quote that I really like. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of success is found in your daily routine. And I really believe that. But I think we do things on a routine basis that we don't even think about. If we have a lot of time, it tends to be filled with biz-I-ness, the I being us, the operative person. And if we crunch that time, we use that time effectively. So what I mean is that if you decided that you were going to come to Spain and visit us at Costa Women in the next 15 years, there's no real urgency to think about that or get that done. But if you decided that you're coming in the next 15 weeks, then we're going to see you very soon, because you're going to start planning those action steps to get here. If a task is perceived by you not to be important, then it will take enormous time for you to complete it, because really you don't want to be doing it. Whereas on the reverse side, if you think of it as being important, you'll get it done really soon, and sometimes immediately you'll do something. So depending on how important or urgent the task is, depends on how quickly you do it. And by pursuing things we believe to be important, we break those down into smaller parts, and then we can accomplish far more. So not only is time the ultimate currency, but it's actually the only currency that we have. Our time is the only thing that really belongs to us. Everything else that we have in this world belongs to the world and the universe. We can't take money and stuff with us when we die. And although we may own something, we don't really own it. For most of us, we're just stewards over our possessions. But the only thing fundamentally we have is our time. And if we waste our time, we waste ourselves, the importance of why we're here. So when I do the masterclass and we do the brain dump exercise, I get you to put your projects into these 4 categories and then look at patterns for what you're doing and who you're doing it for and what outcomes are. So thinking about your why, are there things that you worked on yesterday and today are they going to take you where you want to go? And are they supporting you financially? And are they growing your business? So for the things that you thought about this just now when I asked that question, have you written down some things that maybe you've started to do, but you want to stop doing, or you're going to do more of, or you want to do less of? Start putting them into these 4 categories, and it will really help you to work on what is important for you and where you want to be. The next thing I want you to think about is the be, do, have, and why it's not have, do, be, or do, have, be. Because I think many of us want to have and then to do something to get it and then to be, when actually it's the be first. It's all about who you want to be, not what you want to have or what you want to do. So are you saying yes to things which don't fit with who you want to be in the future? I was asked to be on a TV program, a national UK TV program, but the topic and the audience were not anything I would want to be aligned with. So I said no. So it was a fantastic opportunity, but it doesn't align with who I want to be. And that's something that I pull everything that I do through. And when we think about going to a shop and buying something, we decide if it's something when we go to a shop that fits with what we want. We become the buyer decides. So don't force yourself to take on something just because you think you should. Like when you go into a shop and you really feel you should be buying something when actually you don't really want it. Be the buyer that says, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. And do you like who you're going to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want her business to be? Can you decide on the why of your be? And if you're not sure, you can book a call with me or one of the local coaches that's introduced themselves on this call, or a local coach within your community, to have a chat and decide who it is that you want to be. And then you can start thinking about the do. And once we know what we want to be, then we can do something about it. We can plan to do, create, make, do something that we can to do it. And then we can take those action steps and we can make a plan to have it. So what do you want to be, do, and have either before the end of 2023 or next year? Now, many of you will know these rocks and pebbles. You've probably seen this many times before. So when you do your pebbles first, you can't fit so much into your business jar. But if you do the rocks first, the big things, then the pebbles fit around them. So from that list you created, or you're going to create, about things that you worked on yesterday or today, start thinking about your daily goals. What are your action rocks that you want to do first thing? Maybe you don't want to answer emails before you've actually worked on a specific project. I heard this on a podcast, this next statement, and it really shocked me, but it made me realize what happens. The lady said, if the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up is you pick up your phone, you're spending the first thing in the morning giving your day to somebody else. So if you don't spend first thing in the morning thinking about how you want to set your day, and it could be as basic as just the first thing you do when you wake up is setting an intention for the day, how you want your day to go. But if the first thing you do is grab from your bedside cabinet your phone to see what messages you've had overnight, you've already handed that day on. So I really think it's important that we layer up our morning experiences to what we want to do during the day. And maybe it could be a meditation practice, or it could be journaling, or it could just be that first intention, what do I want out today? So the rocks activate your commitment to action in your weekly goals, and you have your priorities clear, which hopefully you will do with the planning that I'm hoping you do after this call. So when you build a business, you have to have your priorities clear for each project. And during the November masterclass, I know that I had to create marketing material before I could start promotion. Whereas the pebbles can always be moved around. They aren't your key priorities. They're things that can wait. And maybe you've got a team that work for you. I don't know if anybody on the call has got a team, but when I worked in Dubai, the guy that owned the company every day would come into the office with his phone stuck to his ear. And we all knew he wasn't talking to anybody. He just didn't want anybody to disturb him when he first came in the office. We were all saying, you phone him to see if the phone would ring, because we knew it would ring. But really, it's about having that time for you so you don't get interrupted where you want to go. And if you're spending all day checking social media, reading emails, it can take you away from your goals. So I would recommend that you schedule a time to do those things during the day, and don't do it when you need your energy, because your energy is super important for using for the projects that you want to work on. So I use Friday as an admin day, and I use it to plan my coming week. So to take the things from the plan of what I wanted for the quarter and break them down into small projects to move them forward. Is Sandy still on the call? Because I wanted you, if you are Sandy, to share the rock story that you had.
Oh, I am here. Oh, yes, please. Ali did this with me. I was in a bit of a flux for myself. The clinic I was using for training had just changed hands. My landlord of 13 years had just given me 6 months notice on my house, and I had 10 million products on the go. And I just said to Ali, my head is going, and my job is to clear other people's heads. So she did this with me. She did the rocks, the pebbles, putting it in. I did the brain dump with her. And 2 days later, something amazing happened. I got an invite to go to a different clinic who actually wanted someone to be training people in hypnotherapy, to have a look around to see if I wanted to use it. On the same day, I got a couple of emails from an estate agent to say, that list that you were looking at of houses, that there's one available to see on the Tuesday afternoon. Do you want to come and see it? So I did. I went to the clinic in the morning time. It was perfect. All the dates I already had for my training, she had empty in her diary. And then I came up to see this house that I'm sitting in. Can you see the smile on my face, Sally? This house that I'm sitting in. I love this house. I walked into this house and I fell in love with it instantly. My husband just went, oh God, because he said I lit up as I walked around each room. He said there was a glow, and he thought, this is going to cost. And we moved into this house 2 weeks later, which was fantastic. And then it's got quite a lot of land around it. We're in the middle of the countryside. We overlook a beautiful lake. It's everything I've ever wanted. And we took the dog for a walk up the hill. And we turned around, and from that hill, we got this view of our house. And I sent Ali a massive photo, because the back of my house, you can see all the beautiful greenery, and then there's these massive rocks that go all the way down. These huge walls you can't see from the house or the garden, but you can see it from across the other side of the lake. So when she said, put your big rocks in, I went, Ali, my big rocks are in. I've got my house and it's got bloody big rocks, and I've got the clinic, and it's just fabulous. So every time I see Ali, I keep going, big bloody rocks. Thank you, Ali.
No, thank you for sharing, because I think it's really good to see things visually, as well as to understand how easy it is, because we do get caught up into the day to day, rushing about, doing too much, putting stuff on our heads, and then forget about those big rocks that actually are still on the to-do list. We carry them forward week after week after week, and we still don't do them. But actually, if we did those first, we'd get a much clearer mind and idea for the future.
100%.
Thank you. So I just wanted to talk about action. We've been thinking about how we can create our 90-day goals for our businesses, and you're probably aware of the SMART acronym for creating goals, which is specific, measurable, achievable, timely, realistic and timely. And I created this new goal system using the word action because this is where I see we often fail. We've got amazing dreams and goals and intentions, but then we never actually action them. So I'm just going to briefly cover those. I'm going to tell you a story as well, because my husband and I decided that we needed to change our diet. We decided to become vegetarian because I was given, I've got arthritis. I spoke to an Ayurvedic doctor, and she said, you know, you really need to change your diet. So we changed our diet, and I went to see my doctor for my up-to-date blood work. And she said to me, look, I'm really sorry, but they've sent the wrong blood results. So I said, why? She said, because the person on the blood results from a year ago can't be the same woman that is on the blood results now. And I laughed and said, yeah, that's me. And she said, well, what have you done? And I said, I actioned my health. I decided I was going to make a difference by giving up meat. And so it's really important that we do action what it is. And she said most people, when they're given a diagnosis like I had, they just give up. They just, oh, well, I'm not going to do anything about that. That's just one of those things. You've just got arthritis. It's hereditary. There you go. But she said you actually actioned something. So I want you to think about action, because I think it is the part that's often missed. So what action steps are you taking to create your intentions, goals, and wishes? And remember, they can be really super small, but they do move you forward. So you can break them down from a long-term year intention or 90-day goals or whatever you want. But the first word of the A for action is actionable. So is this something you actually want to do, or is it a should goal? So is this something you believe you should be doing, or is this something that you want to do? And I'm not thinking about skill set here, because I know that you've all got the skills to do what you want to achieve. I know that it's possible for you, but is it actionable? And I would start by recording how much time you have each day to work, because it's never 8 hours or 12 hours. I don't know how long you work. And look at your routines, at what you do and when you do that during the day as well. So you may have meetings, you may collect children, you may have appointments, but be honest with how much time you actually spend working on during your working day. Maybe it's 4 hours a day. So then you know what you can take that time to break it down into time slots for your day and give yourself time to action whatever it is that you want to work on. So a project for you after this call is to really make a list of everything that you do today or did today, and that will give you an idea of what your action is, what you're working on. And check your diary as well for last week. At the beginning of this year, I made a decision that my Wednesdays were only going to be the days when I met one-to-one with my clients or with people. So that's what I do on a Wednesday, and I've blocked all the Wednesdays out, and it makes it so much easier to know that Wednesday is the day that I do that. I don't do it any other day. And can you see that there's times of the day when you have more energy than others? If so, then use that energy time more effectively. So maybe you decide that you'll allocate a day in the coming month to create some themes for your social media so that you can get those 5-star reviews or get more clients or research. And that's what you're going to be doing over the next 90 days. Or you could create some images and memes in Canva on a block basis or whatever tool you use. Or if you've got an action step to write, say, 10 blogs for next year, you could just come up with the titles. I'm not suggesting you write the whole blog, but you can come up with the titles. So the C is for consistent. So it fits with where you're heading for your business, and it's really relevant to who you want to be, what you want to do. And it's what you do, you have to do, you return to it over and over again. It's consistent. So you can't sign up to a new course or class if it doesn't really fit with your theme, where you're going. So it will stop you following the latest bright, shiny thing that maybe isn't something that you should get involved with at all. You know where your clients hang out, and you've got a plan to engage with them and be helpful and supportive and build that audience, and you can be consistent in doing that. So if you make sure that you're consistent on theme and all roads lead to your 10-year goal, which is something that I have, but that's a whole other thing as well. So maybe you want to know about 10-year goals, but where you want to be consistent with your theme. So a mini project for you as well after this call is to check back with that start, stop, do more, do less exercise, and see if what you're doing is consistent with where you're wanting to go with that exercise. The T is transform. So we talked briefly about your why and why this is so important. Why are you doing this? And will it be transformational for you and your clients? Who do you want to transform into if it's for you? Dr. DeMartini has done an exercise which is free on the internet. If you just put in Dr. DeMartini and vision, it should come up. If it doesn't, message me and I'll send it to you. So he walks you through an exercise where you find out what your vision is for who you want to be, what matters to you. For me, it came out that it really matters to me that I spend time reading and learning and growing. So I have to make sure that I schedule time in for that to happen. The I is intention. So what intention have you set? It's thinking about what commitment you're going to make to carry out an act or actions in the future. So what are you planning based on what you want to happen in the future? And you may want to see results now. And that's why these action steps are so important, because as I said earlier, we expect far too much in too short a time frame. So I want you to think about what you can achieve in the next 90 days. And it's a short time frame, but long enough to start something or stop something or experiment with something. So what is your intention strategy? What are you selling and who are you selling it to? We often allow the day or the week to happen to us rather than for us. So when you set an intention, you're deciding on what you want to happen in the next 90 days and setting in an intention to get you there. And there are really small steps which you can do over the next 90 days so that you know the outcome from each of those steps, but don't have too many. I said small there deliberately, and I do suggest just one goal for the next 90 days. We need to be very clear on what we can achieve with the time that we have. Otherwise, we get really fed up and we actually self-sabotage where we're heading to. And then the O is the word action is outcomes. I mentioned earlier, a goal can't be reliant upon someone else for you to achieve it. You need to be able to tick off those action steps that you can do and only you can do. So the outcome, it'll be obvious when you arrive at the place that you want to get to, because you know what you want to be, do and have, and you've written down the outcome of that following on for the next 90 days. And hopefully you'll have a celebration when you get to that outcome. And then finally, the N is your North Star. It's the biggest star in the constellation, and it's really visible to the naked eye at night, wherever you are in the world. The stable position of the star in the north sky has made it really useful for navigation. Everything rotates around your North Star and the North Star. It traces a very small arc in the night sky, but it holds its position. And around it, all the other visible stars make wider circles. So your North Star is your vision for your business, and all roads lead you through those action steps to it arriving for you. And it makes 100% for you, for your 100% sense for your business. And you keep that vision in front of you every single day. And part of my planning that I do is having this type of work at the end of each quarter for myself. And I really encourage you to do the same thing, to go through a process of reviewing where you've come from in the last 90 days, giving yourselves time to think and plan the next quarter and make an action plan. So I hope you found that useful. At a very basic level, I take my diary for the next 3 months and I schedule in important dates, the events that I'm going to be doing, networking. I think networking is really crucial. I don't think we do enough networking because, as Linda said earlier, you know, you never know who you might meet and where it might take you. And I think it's really important to network. You might want to schedule in home days and office days when you're doing specific things, and create a content calendar to share your stuff with key dates, particularly if you're wanting to achieve targets for people seeing your stuff. Where are they going to see it? So to actually have a content calendar that you can roll out. So I encourage you to make a plan. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to go back to what you were saying earlier about that exercise online. Can you possibly share that in the chat? The transformation. You had an exercise that you talked about.
Yeah, the Dr. Demartini one.
Yeah, can you put his name in the chat maybe? And then
yeah.
I was also thinking maybe we can take a quick pause and see if anybody has any questions or thoughts around what we've covered, because it's a lot of good stuff that you covered.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah, anybody have any thoughts? What's coming up for you as you listen to this? You know, it's a lot of good information on how to plan, but in the interest of, you know, making it a little more interactive, I'd like to see if anybody has anything to share. I know I took some takeaways.
Or, you know, I was wondering if somebody would be willing to share their goal, and Ali, maybe you could walk us through your, so we could see it
in action.
Like, yeah, see it in action. I'd love that.
Yep.
Any volunteers?
I just wanted to point out the cups in the sand illustration. I read a book, and I know I should know the name, and probably most of you have read it, but it kind of goes right along with that theme. Eat That Frog.
Yes.
Frog.
Yeah. I'll remember his name in a minute, but yeah. 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 And
I read it.
It's so important that we do eat that frog. And eat it every day. You know, the thing that we don't want to do, that's the whole purpose of the Eat the Frog, is that you're actually doing something you don't particularly want to do. And yeah, do it every day. I'm going to stop sharing.
Yeah. Rachel, did you have something you wanted to share?
Oh, I was going to volunteer if you wanted to.
Sure.
It's a since it's a very kind of logistical goal. So so the goal I had on here, and thank you, Ali, that was really great. I took a lot from it. Thanks. The goal I had here was getting more automation and some of the stuff that's kind of, I can see taking away from content creation and bigger business work that I could do. And I'm not at the space to hire a team yet or hire a social media team. And it's in a good space where I'm flowing through. So my goal was essentially to like automate and really do some more pre-planning of social media for Instagram and my emails, and just having those really like buckled down. And every time I try to do it, I'm like, it's just too much. And it's like, I like to be like more impromptu, and I connect with the seasons and a lot of my work and things that are happening for myself. There's a lot that comes through, or stuff that comes up with clients that I will really be inspired to put through in my content. But it is just too tedious. Like it's you know, where I could be using that time a lot more efficiently. So for when I did a little inventory of my day yesterday, I'm with the kids. I'm a mom. I am like this double life of work where I grab an hour while my son's in karate, and I will do everything, you know, and I'm fine with that. I actually like it because, like, I think my car is my most focused space where I have nothing in the house pulling at me. But I definitely need to get more consistent with having structure. I thrive in structure, so that it will work for me. I just, eating that frog and getting started on that. But I could see the I mean, I've been coached on this even with my peer coaches. Like, I know the long-term benefit of this. There's so many wonderful things. It's going to bring a lot into my business. But I'm finding it hard getting enough time to do a little more of that planning.
So I would say start small. So start with an hour a day or 20 minutes a day. I don't know if you were in on the call about ChatGPT and using artificial intelligence, but you can actually ask ChatGPT for the best tools for automation and why ChatGPT thinks they're the best tools for automation. And you won't get the sales messages that you get from each company saying we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. You get ChatGPT giving you an overview of the tools and what you're trying to do. And I would think about which is the biggest time saver for you for what you're trying to work on, and start with that one first. So if you can see, if you automate this, then that's going to give me the most amount of time. Then I'd start with that particular one project. But I would start really small and use artificial intelligence. We don't use it enough. It's so easy to use. If you Sonia actually gave the group a special offer for the book that she's written, but it's available as a download. And she's got fantastic prompts and things in there that you can use, but also ideas that we won't even have thought about that we could use artificial intelligence for, including writing social media posts. Because now even on the free version, you can put who your unique client is. You can actually tell it at the beginning. There's like a section now on ChatGPT where you can add in, this is who I am, this is what matters to me, this is who my clients are, this is what I want to use ChatGPT for, and then it tailors what you're trying to do. I think maybe get an accountability buddy, so somebody who is within your network, within B.I.G, who you can hold, because there's bound to be, I think somebody said, Bina said, I feel the same. So why don't you and Bina team up and decide what it is that you want to do, and then for the next 90 days. So I'd say just doing that one project on the one thing that is going to make the biggest impact for you. Just have the one thing rather than thinking I've got to automate the whole lot by the end of the year. Just start with one area, and then you and Bina have a regular call or even just WhatsApp chat. How are you doing today? Have you done anything towards it? Just to hold each other accountable with where you're going.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It's nice to see it in action. So thank you, Ellie, for doing that. And thanks, Rachel, for volunteering.
Did anybody else have a question? I'm just looking for the DeMartini link. If I can't find it, I'll stick it in the Facebook chat, actually, the Facebook group that we have for this community. I'll share it in there. Anila, I don't think you're in that group, so I'll add you to that group because I don't think you're in there yet for the this particular chat.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have not, all of my clients have been word of mouth. I'm really not advertising. I know I need to get all of that set up, and I'm noticing, and I just like feedback from this group. What do you feel is number one as far as reaching people? Because I'm a bookkeeper, it came to me during this meeting, one of the things that I could do is just do end of year tips, what you need to have ready, things to do, what to look for, things like that. But what is the go-to nowadays? Is it Facebook, Instagram, one of the two, or both?
It depends where your clients are. So I would use the 90 days to do a bit of research. And you could actually ask, I don't know if you use artificial intelligence.
I
but
have.
Yeah, okay. So you could say, my client is this is my ideal client. Can you tell me where they hang out? And see what answer it is, and then go and have a look at that platform and see if it looks like that's correct.
Okay.
But if most of your stuff's coming through, because what you do is something very personal, isn't it? And people need to trust you and trust what you do. Networking for you would be really good. It won't get you hundreds of clients, but yeah. So I would major much more on networking too. Go to maybe some new networking groups, or within B.I.G, swap around some of the different networking groups that you have, the pods that you have. You're getting reviews on Google, but are you then just something very basic, just copying and pasting them, using them as a meme into your Facebook? Or
I have not. That's a very good idea.
Really repurpose all your content, so all those reviews, and share them on your social media, because they give gravitas to what you're doing. I don't know if you've got a website. Have you got your reviews on your website as well?
My website is kind of through Google.
Okay.
And I really need to work on that. I do want to say something about chat, and artificial intelligence. I was doing a presentation for another networking group on how to understand profit and loss and balance sheets.
Yeah.
And so I typed that in and it came up with pages of stuff. But there was an error. I found 2 errors. So I'm just saying, if you're using that, review it very carefully, because not everything is correct. And I was told, and maybe you can confirm, it's 2 years old data. Is that correct?
The free one is still 2 years old data, and you do need to tell it when it's made a mistake, because that's the only way it's going to get corrected. It's machine learning, so it's learning from us.
Oh, I didn't know that we could do that.
Yeah, so you just say to it, basically, that's not correct. You've got that wrong. Because I've had a few instances where information's wrong. The one that Google have, but Microsoft's one said that Cost of Women was created by me and some woman called Karen, who I've never even heard of her. So it's, it isn't 100% correct. Bard, thank you. So I would always check, but it is super useful for some things. I mean, it's not, it's getting that information from the internet somewhere.
It was a very, very helpful. I just had to take that one thing out, and then it would have taken me 8 hours, and it was minutes to come up with this.
Yeah, but as you mentioned,
I also wanted to suggest as well. You had said at the beginning that you're getting your clients from referrals. I, as a business coach, always instruct my clients to stay with what's working. If that is where you are getting your clients, like your last 3 clients have come from referrals, then that is where you are going to get your future clients, and to double down your efforts on what is working, which is human to human conversation and relationships. So anything that you can do that engages your people in face-to-face human connection, conversation, engagement, like Ali was saying, really networking. Your business especially, is it is a human connection that people want from their bookkeeper. They want somebody that they do trust, as Ali said. So I would really, I think sometimes what we do as business owners, and I appreciate the conversation on ChatGPT, but and even the automation conversation we were having. But I think we have to remember as business owners that business is based on relationship. And we sometimes think that our success is going to be predicated on the more online stuff we put in between us and our clients, websites and sales pages and calendar links. We put these barriers in between us. And in fact, our business comes from just getting on the phone and having a chat, right? So hold that as something, and I mean, I loved all of Ali's stuff about goal setting, but I know for myself, one of my goals to create the clients that I get is to simply, how can I be in conversation with somebody today about what I do?
Mhm. That's great. And Ali, I have really enjoyed this. I've taken 3 pages of notes. I do want to say that networking, every one of my connections has been through networking. This morning, our Wake Forest area Chamber of Commerce has what they call the mastermind class. It was free. We're doing the E-Myth Revisited. And last week, when I was sharing the why of my business, and a lady found out my passion for my clients, she contacted me and said, this is one of the other attendings, I'm looking for a bookkeeper. Well, I've signed her on. Then this morning, one of the ladies says, I have a friend that's looking for a bookkeeper. So it's just like, it is amazing to me. And I feel very blessed that, because I enjoy people and meeting people. And it's so funny because networking was the thing that I was the most scared about when I started my business. And it's the thing I love the most about it now.
Brilliant. I mean, I think we do things because we think we should do them. So you're asking, about should I be on Instagram or Facebook? But why, as Linda said, and as I said earlier, networking is really where you've found your clients. So why should you change the way it works just because you think you need to?
Thank you.
I love this whole interaction. It was so nice to see how in being displayed how we sometimes feel like we should do certain things, and then realizing that no, we don't really have to. If this is working, let's just keep focusing on what's working. Yeah, beautiful.
We need to give ourselves permission to do what works and what we're happy doing. We don't have to do things that we're not happy doing. And if we can't give ourselves permission, then get somebody else to give you permission. I'm giving you all permission today, especially Kathy, to do what she loves doing. Yeah. Because sometimes we don't do it ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. All right, let's take it back to your presentation. Was there more in there that you want to talk about, Ali?
It was just very quickly, let me pull it back up again. So yeah, so it was just really to get you to make a plan and create action steps, add deadlines which are manageable for you, and then have a celebration because you've done it. So really thinking how you want to feel at the end of this year. Maybe having a word for the quarter. I do an annual planner every year, and in there we have a word for the year. But you could have a word for the quarter. What energy do you want to bring to this quarter? And then finally, it was just an invitation to join me if you want to on the 22nd of November. 4 p.m. CEST is the same time that this call started in America. So whatever time this call started for you is what time we're having it. And I'm just going to run a 90-day masterclass so that you can I'll get you to do your brain dump beforehand. So you can take your brain dump, work on the things that you want to take with you and that move your business forward. And then we'll break those down into 90-day goals, and I'll share some rituals to help you get there. And once you've got that process in place, you can just rinse and repeat every quarter. And that's what I do. I just spend the last week of the quarter. I don't spend the whole week doing it, but I say I have less appointments this week because I'm going to be working on my 90-day plan. I know B.I.G have got paid business memberships. Costa Women have one as well. So if that fits with your theme of, where you're getting your clients from, then message me at growth@costawomen.com or have a look at our website under the business tab. There's a growth tab just about our paid membership, business membership. But that's it from me. I hope you found that useful. And I hope that I will hear from some of you that you've actually started to create 90-day goals and achieve them. You've actually actioned them. You haven't just written them down and not done them. So thank you, ladies.
Beautiful.
Stop sharing it.
And how long is the masterclass, Ali?
90 minutes.
90 minutes. 90 minutes for 90 days. I love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Ali. That was amazing.
we have about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna just please put anything in the chat that you want to connect with each other. This is also a great time if you're to put your socials in if you want to connect with people, or email or website, any way that you want to connect with people. I'm going to put in the chat the next big meeting that's coming up from B.I.G Virtual Global, which is the do's and don'ts of sales calls. So that is October 24th. We're going to get deep into the what to do and what not to do on a sales call, or whatever you call them, sales call, consultation call, discovery call. But that's nice to see you, Christina. So please feel free to use the chat. And Ali, if do you have a link to that?
Yep, I have put it in the chat, but I'll put it again. Yep.
Yeah,
And
put that in for anyone who wants to.
DeMartini
Master
getting in there as well, so I shall share that as well.
All right.
But the bottom link is to the DeMartini values quiz that you can take.
Okay.
See you, Laura.
And the rest is about the program.
Feel free to save the chat, everybody. And we do have some time before we finish, so we can actually do a little more brainstorming because we run until 11:30. And if anybody wants to share what goals came up for them, or if they were struggling to come up with something specific, or they need help around that, just raise your hand or just tell us.
It'd be interesting to hear, based on my saying that you can't have a goal based on something you're expecting somebody else to do, whether you've changed your way of looking at goals and are thinking about rewriting your goals.
I think for me, it was a great reminder of, just planning out certain days for certain things. I used to do that a lot before, and I feel like I lost track of that a little bit. So it's kind of nice. Like my Wednesdays were also always connection calls. So that continues, and it's just one time I made the decision that that's what I'm going to do on Wednesdays, because when I was working in the gym, I used to take Wednesdays off. And so that's my day to connect with people. So it's just a simple change that I made, but it stuck for years and years and years. And I still do that. So I think if I just made the other days, or like had, okay, this is my social media day, this is my newsletter day, or this is my blog day, I think that it would make my life a lot more efficient, my work a lot more efficient. So that's definitely my takeaway, is to create more days and more specific goals for those days. So
great. Yeah, because if we're all over the place, and in this hour we're doing this and that hour we're doing that, it just disrupts the day. And then you discover at the end of the day you've got emails in your draft folder that you haven't actually sent, because halfway through sending them you were going to attach something and then you saw something else pop up. You forgot to attach something and send the email.
There's no end to the distractions. I mean, I got my father-in-law, my mom, my kids, the dog, and everyone has their needs, and everyone's needs come before mine. So
Yeah.
it's
I
easy
think
to
that
fall for that.
they're saying the attention now is 2 seconds of people's attention has got down to 2 seconds.
I thought it
2
was
seconds.
7. Oh my God. Where are we headed? That's why I
With
actually
that
put a
said, I'm
micro.
gonna pop off the call if we're done for the presentation and the questions that everyone had. So thank you so much, Ali. Nice to see everyone. I will see you all soon. Come to the meeting on the 24th.
Hey, anybody else have anything they want to quickly share while we have Ali on the call?
Yes, I will share. This is Bina. So like when Ali started with like, what did you do yesterday? For us, it was yesterday. For Europe, it was today. And this thought came to my mind is like, I was doing everything yesterday that was leading to my goal. The avenues were different, but the destination is the same. So I have my goals. I'm working on them, whether I take route A or route B or route C, I'm working on it. Like there's different avenues for me, and they all lead to one destination.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, well
And
done.
thank you. This presentation was great, and like it gave us food for thought, and like what we can do in the next 90 days, how we can get to our goals, and how to like, break it down and stuff like that. So great points that I will be working on and taking actions on.
Brilliant, Lena. And saving women's hair.
I want to.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working on that. So
Brilliant.
thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah. That
There's
was
nobody got anything else, then we can hang up.
yeah.
The next, do we know what the speaker is for the next call? The next one in November, which is the 15th. Can you remember what it is?
I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah. So we do these calls monthly. I think the rest of the ladies know, but Anila might not know. We do these on the 3rd Wednesday of every month at 4 o'clock. And I'm trying to remember what the next topic is. I didn't see it. It's not networking, is it? Because that's December, isn't it?
Yeah, November. Let's see. Oh, I went into December. And for those of you that might be interested or might know somebody who is looking to join B.I.G, we actually are running a great promotion right now where if 2 people join, they can actually get a significant amount off their membership, $200 and something. Not specifically sure, but it's a great time to join, and that promotion runs from October 15th to November 15th. So if you,
I think I just read it on Brooke's post. It is $119
$119
for, I guess, one person.
off each one. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, let us know and get in touch. So the next one is Holiday Speed Networking, November 15th.
Perfect. Yeah. Good. Okay.
So see you guys next week. Let's see, Christina, did you have a question? It's only for new members or members that have expired, who have memberships expired 6 months ago. So March of 2022, if their membership expired before March of 2022, then they can come back for that rate as well. But yeah, for everyone else, it's for new members. Yes. So let your friends know, let everybody know about it, and have them reach out to us. It's a great opportunity to take advantage of. All right. Thank you, Ali. Thank you for doing this. This was wonderful. Everybody go plan your next 90 days, attend her workshop, save the chat, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Bye.